Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome on this beautiful Sunday uh, for poetry for the planet. Uh, Poetry for the Planet is an event with the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, and it's part of an Earth Week showcase of artists, activists. Moon 31 has co produced this, and the suggested $5 donation will benefit the New Eurekan Poets Cafe as well as Uprose. Founded in 1966, Uprose is Brooklyn's oldest Latino community based organization. It's an intergenerational, multiracial, nationally recognized community organization that promotes sustainability and resilience in Brooklyn's Sunset Park neighborhood. And this is far from the first time that I have in some way worked with Uprose, from co-hosting a protest in Union Square where I first met AOC, to singing with my daughter to entertain the powerful youth that are so woke because of this organization. I would like to give an Ochun blessing and love to Elizabeth Yampierre, who is in the chat with us. Would you like to unmute or say anything? Because you know how much I love you and I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, peace, Modupwe Ashe to everybody. I am so grateful to be in this space and so excited to be in community with this badassery that you all are. This is where the resistance is coming from to reclaim Mother Earth and our people. So this is the way we do it. We have to embrace joy. We have to do it with poetry. Uh, this is how we hold. This is how we hold our power. So thank you so much. I'm just deeply grateful and so excited. I've been waiting for this all week and I've been going crazy on social media just reposting. Thank you so much, de corazón, de Cocan.
Mucho amor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, okay, we're going to get on with this program here. I have a poem that I would like to share. It's new. I've been working on this, and here we go. Return home. Hear her calling wildly in the wood that whistles as it burns. Feel her pulling you, tied in her tide with a lunar grip, holding you firmly to her hip, lip locked with her face, returning you to your birthing place, with your heart pounds glave rhythms, under a moonlit orchestra of coquilles, winded in your avian paradise of humble beginnings, her bird song a hammock that lulls you to sleep. Hair of palm trees dance in a bomba breeze, while everything is whole and complete in the bosom of her beach, in the veins of dirt streets where footprints beg to be planted at the mountain of her feet, in the dust of memories. Why try to outrun her? Why? No matter how far you've roamed in space, this is where you belong. At her side, Mother said, "Come home." You are summoned to return to the arms of Madre Tierra. This treasure is not buried. Why deny fate? Why ask a bird to not fly? Nature undenied, her oceans rise higher than ever before, above the heavens that bore the rain from where you descended. Sacred, ethereal beings are we, the children. This is not a new fight, but a new flight to the oldest destination, Pacha, Tierra, Mama, Mama. Her love is the balm for the burn of colonization, but you must return to your mother nation, Madre Natal, rematriate, defend where X marks the spot, the being that unearthed you, exposing your roots so you could never deny to yourself or anyone that made you believe you are not hers. Listen to these words. Return to Mother Earth. Return. And that's my poem, Return Home. It's still a work in progress. I'm here in Puerto Rico, and I've been developing a piece called From Poor to Rico. And I've done work in the Bronx as well. I have a video called Bronx Indigenous that you could check out on YouTube. And years ago, I fought, I did a song with Fat Joe and a whole collective of artists called Stop the Bombs to stop the Marina in Vieques that was polluting the island of Vieques. I mean, there's a struggle still going on for land and to keep it pristine. But there are many fights being fought in different fronts. And on that note, I would like to introduce you to our first featured artist, Celia Aguilar. She's a border desert native who grew up on both sides of a divided homeland. Her writing, from poetry to playwriting, focuses on social and political issues, identity, and the realities of growing up as a brown woman. Her aim is to present her art as a catalyst for reflection, change, and healing. She has recently delved into expressing herself through music, showcasing the many talents of her hometown, El Paso, Texas. El Paso, Texas. Texas, I just learned, is an indigenous name. Whether experienced on stage, in print, or through digital means, Celia's work is a perfect representation of her ability to balance sacred and hood. We know about that. She has published in Madre, Mujeres de Maíz, Flor y Canto, Paso del Río Grande del Norte, the Rio Grande Review, and is in the process of releasing her first solo studio album. And it's an indigenous word, and I will let Celia tell you more about its title. Welcome, Celia.
Thank you so much. So the album is titled Tlet, which actually means fire in Nahuatl. So that's just something that's been really, I've been really moved by the fire lately, just this process of change and burning through the old and coming up out of those ashes. So that's kind of what that's all about. So first of all, I want to give a thank you to the New Yorican Poets Cafe for allowing me to be a part of this space, to share this virtual stage with such incredible, talented, and powerful women. So I'm honored and humbled to be here. This first poem that I want to start with, it's kind of like a prayer. So I would like to open with that. And it's a prayer for the water. Yanawana, yawana yo, 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 yanawana, yana yo, yanawana, yawana yo, yanawana, yawana yo, yanawana, yawana yo. Blood of the earth, sangre de la tierra, ríos sus venas, her rivers the veins, life that sustains, flowing through our body in molecular strains. Reflections of our mother, whom without we would perish, we sing songs of praise to your waters that we cherish. Your pools are the mirrors that reflect our soul, windows to our true selves, this connection we all hold. When our fires burn with the heat of 1,000 aches, water helps us contain the flames. Medicina que cura, sagrada y pura. Sacred medicine, shape-shifting healer, comes exactly in the form in which we most need her. Rain becomes harvest, cornfields, home-cooked meals, hydration for the relatives that walk along the lands and fly among the breeze. The home of myth and giant beast, the beginning of our lives, warm, wet womb, primordial ooze and sanctity. Tlazokamati, Tonantzin Yanawana, yawana yo, yanawana, yawana yo, yanawana, yawana yo, yanawana, yawana yo, yanawana, yo. Yanawana yo. Yanawana yo. Yanawana yo. Yanawana yo. So that was my prayer to the water. This next piece that I want to share with you, or this next poem, I actually was still working on this morning, because that's kind of how we do it, working under pressure and procrastination. But of course, I feel like our work is never really done and continuously being worked on. But I like to call this, "You kiss your mama with that mouth." How do you apologize to your mother for being disrespectful? Do you spit upon her face and deny her pain? Do you bleed her dry and inject poison in her veins, when all she's ever done is given life with no refrain? When you see her open wounds, do you label them a hoax, even when your blood-stained hands are the ones who've cut her throat? When she gives you all she has, with all the love in the world, do you still press her for more? Till her waters become ash and her flesh turns into bone? Or do you wrap your arms around her with the reciprocity only known to those who've shared a home, the safe warmth of sacred womb? I find it hard to believe that we'd ever allow anyone to intentionally hurt our mother. So why do we stand idly while our ultimate source of life, Pachamama, Huatlicue, Gaia, Tonantzin, chokes on the toxins of industrial waste, her veins filled with a thick, tarry paste, her lungs uprooted in the name of financial gain, her body, mind, violated, destroying all the sacred spaces revered by original nations, regarded as disposable, as brown bodies, brown border bodies, found buried beneath battered deserts. I wonder, does our treatment of our mother reflect the way we treat our women? Or does the way we treat our women mirror the way we see the earth? Exploited and discarded, disrespected and dismissed, bodies used at others' discretion for their leisure and benefit, a thirst never quenched, a dry breath, cracked desert lands drained, riddled with memories of journals laced in innocence and butterfly stickers, wearing the words Julián y María por siempre, littered upon the earth like trash discarded upon roadsides, devoid of life, like poisoned soil, like toxic waters. Yet flowers bloom in the spring, and laughter echoes through memorials of missing women. Fists fly through the air, chants ring in unison to the rhythm of drums, the heartbeat of the earth. In the streets, victories are won by warriors protecting sacred lands, an army of ancestors at their side, holding them up against those who fear their power. The original wisdom in their words carried on the wings of the wind, reaching every corner. Huitzlampa, Cihuatlampa, Tlahuitzlampa, Mitlampa, the spirit world, home to those gone before us who still send messages through the voice of hawk and eagle. The souls cut down for saying no, no more, not here, for seeing the value of the land, water, and air, that life is non-existent without the nurturing nature of our mother, that prayers and offerings are more necessary than dams and pipelines, industries dominated by a colonizer legacy. No concept of balance, harmony, or respect, only avarice and profit gained through conquest, yet no true knowledge of wealth or reverence. Megalomania at its worst, intimidated by indigenous communities whose mere survival threatens capitalistic endeavors, murdered for speaking, not against one thing, but in preservation of a way of life carried down through generations, the only way to sustain our existence. Corporate greed does not understand any language outside of money. Swollen pockets leave flames in their wake, leave families mourning for those who stood to meet their fate. But for every fallen warrior, entire communities stand up in their place. Because like Bob Marley said, we are the small axe sharpened to cut you down. We are ready to cut you down. So I have one last poem that I would like to share with you all. I initially had titled it Crisis, but it sounded really dire. And I'm really good at talking about all of these like negative things and overwhelming people. So I'm like, maybe at least the title could be a little better. So I retitled it to Tonantzin, which is mother in Nahuatl. I'd like to stand here and give you all the statistics about water quality and animal extinctions, endangered species and toxic emissions, but all I can think about are prophetic predictions. Plus, I don't think we're really that ignorant, or better said, we at least get the gist of it. It just must not register as serious, or we don't understand the far-reaching extent of it, the harm we've caused and how we should be regretting it, or at the very least, moving towards ending it. How are we going to remedy this tragedy? Want to see us live less haphazardly, more green, literally. This place was once a forest, got overtaken by greed, usually the driving force behind global economy. I wish we could see. This nation's military is not fighting to keep our country free. We're killing in the name of oligarchies. Stealing from the poor to keep the rich wealthy, the poor unhealthy. In my own backyard, got a fucking refinery. I'm sorry about the profanity. I've just got a lot of built up rage in me. But can you blame me? 5 centuries of fighting for the same things. I don't want to feed the cycle of insanity. I want to feast from the fruits of my family tree and carry out the legacy of my ancestry. Fulfill ancient prophecy. Are we going to keep bowing to technology or use our resources to better our ecology? Live in harmony, guardians of the earth like we used to be, honoring the elements and directions, protecting the water like we know it's something sacred, not to be wasted, contaminated, and then not talked about like it's something X-rated. Or did we all just forget about Flint, Michigan and the Dene Nation? Blinded by privilege, forgot what we're dealing with, what we're heading towards. We're poisoning our own existence, not thinking about children or children's children. What kind of world are we going to leave the way we're living? Places are too polluted to even breathe in. Did you know some countries actually sell bottled air? Because some countries can't live without manufactured wares, consume and consume without being aware. Is a plastic trash island really worth the convenience? What's the point of a life like this? Can't even connect with our own inherent bliss. And what's money gonna mean when it's all gone? No food to eat, ecosystem all wrong. And nature's been trying to warn us all along. Every day is a little faster, closer to natural disaster that's actually become pretty unnatural. Got earthquakes and tornadoes where there never used to be. It's like the earth is saying, get used to me, reacting to everything that you do to me. It's kind of new to me. Protecting her used to be our ultimate duty. Now people ravage her corpse like an apocalyptic horde when all we really want to do is plant corn, drink clean water, and protect ancestral lands and the hands that work it, those who most deserve it for their heartfelt service. And I still have hope that one day we'll learn this and unlearn all the rest. I just hope it's not too late by then. Thank you so much. That was my contribution.
That was awesome, Celia. That was so awesome. Please tell everyone how to follow you.
I think the easiest way would probably be on Facebook, just Celia Aguilar. My Instagram is some ridiculous thing that nobody can say or find. So just hit me up on Facebook.
Well, put it in the chat at least so that or maybe I think Nuyuri can put it in the chat, but I totally resonated with your work. It was tremendous. I too have asked myself countless times, do we treat women the way we treat Mother Earth? And the answer is yes, and my goodness, just everything. Thank you so
Muchas gracias.
much. Powerful, all the way from El Paso, Texas, representing. So tremendous. My gosh. I have a song called Crazy Things Are Happening. It's on Spotify. Crazy things are happening. You see them happening. Chances are they happening. You're acting like they haven't been. Oil spills are happening. Hurricanes are happening. Earthquakes are happening. The frequency is baffling. But I digress. I will leave the music now to a tremendous artist that I've been able to collaborate with over the years. Taina Asili is a New York-based Puerto Rican singer, filmmaker, and activist carrying on the tradition of her ancestors, fusing past and present struggles into one soulful and defiant voice. Her music combines powerful vocals carrying themes of hope and liberation with an energetic fusion of Afro, Latin, reggae, and rock. Asili's music offers a sound that spans continents, exuding strength of spirit, inspiring audiences at venues across the globe, from Carnegie Hall to the Women's March on Washington to the main stage of San Francisco Pride. Asili's music urges people to get on their feet and dance to the rhythm and rhyme of rebellion. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What a beautiful introduction. And I don't get to say it often enough in public, but La Bruja, Caridad, I love you so much. I'm always so enamored and grateful for you and your work and all that you do. Since I was younger, I would looked up to you as somebody who is just such a brilliant artist in your craft. So thank you.
Thank you. That is so sweet of you.
And Celia, that was a really powerful, beautiful performance. And I'm gonna say a secret, which is while I had my camera off, I was singing and Gaetana was playing to you because you brought out the music in me, and we were. I wish we could have it could have been a live collaboration because I was feeling this vibration, this connection that was happening, and I'm gonna actually perform the song. I wasn't planning to do this song, but your poem, particularly your last poem, called this song to my heart, and this is the music is what we were playing from this song that we were playing over you. So I'm gonna start with this one, and I believe this is a song that I performed at an Uprose event. I think it was at the Uprose anniversary event. So shout out to Elizabeth, shout out to Uprose. I'm so grateful for you and your work all the time, all day, ever grateful. This song is called Survival, and it's this understanding that as Black, Indigenous people of color, we will no longer negotiate our survival. Our right to exist on this planet is not something to negotiate by anybody in a White House, anybody in a boardroom. It's our right to exist on this planet. It's our right to breathe and to breathe clean air. to be alive, so that we will no longer negotiate our survival. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. No permission to say no more. Wait no more. Take no more. No permission to say no more. Wait no more. Take no more. From the waters of the gourd I descend, legends of my ancestral land, divine teachings they send from this source I defend. Bear strength of a people who survived slavery, attempted genocide, awaken courage, let hope be revived. From this hope I will fight. As lawmakers are betrayed, like gods who decide our fate, at which rate our climate they'll annihilate. And it's us they incriminate, and us who will feel the weight of the sacred waters they desecrate. Those who hide behind laws destined the end of us all. From the margins we call, we will no longer negotiate our survival. No longer negotiate our survival. No permission to say no more. Wait no more. Take no more. No permission to say no more. Wait no more. Take no more. Feel the waters beginning to rise. Warnings of earth traumatized. In front of our eyes, recipes of our demise. But from the waters of the gourd we resist. But medicine and truth in our fists. Cease and desist, we claim the right to exist. Those who hide behind laws destined the end of us all. From the margins we call, we will know longer negotiate our survival. No longer negotiate our survival. Out of the gourd we flow, we flow, we flow, guided by the past and of tomorrow. And like a river surge, we will take over. Surrender the power, 'cause we won. Negotiate our survival. No, no longer, no longer, no longer. Negotiate our survival. No longer, no longer, no longer. Negotiate our survival. No longer, no longer, no longer. Negotiate our survival. Thank you.
Woo! I just got to make a little some sound. Need a little feedback right there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I forgot to introduce my partner in Love and Music and Revolution. This person right here. This is Gaetano Vaccaro on guitar. Let's see here. I think I'm going to hit Plant the Seed next. This next song is called Plant the Seed, and it's a song that is off of my most recent album called Resiliencia, which means resilience. And it's for the entire album, I interviewed women of color about their stories of resilience, and from their stories, I created songs. And this one in particular is about my best friend, my dear sister, Leah Penniman of Soul Fire Farm, which is a organization that I'm a part of as a board member that works to end racism in the food system and seed sovereignty. And this song is inspired by Leah's story of believing in herself to become a food justice farmer, and listening to the ancestors and listening to that call. And I think, Celia, I think in your poems you mentioned, what was it, ancestral remembrance?
Ancestral lands.
What was it?
Ancestral lands.
Ancestral lands. The ancestors kept coming up, you know. And it's so important that we see this work as part of our legacy, as our ancestral legacy to, you know, as we said, Black, Indigenous, people of color, we are on the front lines of the harm, but have always been on the front lines of the resistance, right? Thus uprose, right? Thus the New Eureka Poets Cafe, creating a space for us to be able to speak our truth to power. So that's what the song is about, Plant the Seed. And today as we're honoring Earth Day, it's a time that we hope will be something that we continue on every day, all day, to stop climate change, to demand climate justice, and to heal our earth, that all people may have access to healthy food, that we may learn to grow our own food again and connect with that powerful, life-giving source that comes from the soil. Plant the seed. This is my declaration to be fully alive, healing. This is my reclamation of my ancestral wisdom. The earth, it saved it for me, and I plant the seed. Turn the soil lifted in my hand, feel its love. No, I won't give up, I won't settle. This is what I'm here to do. Dig the path returning us to land. Ancestors calling from the depths of the earth. Dig the path returning us to land. Let it be a medicine, 'cause all that we need is enclosed in the seed, a precious memory, and I claim to sovereignty. Hey, let it be our claim to sovereignty as I plant the seed. Oh, yeah, a memory. I hold our sovereignty, a memory. I hold our sovereignty. Hey, oh, 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 I heal it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Lift my hands surrendering to the sky. Feel the sun restoring me to life. I am whole. Lift my hands surrendering to the sky. Liberation is possible. Reap the harvest of collective strength. Let our courage nourish us, let fear have no place. Reap the harvest of collective strength. We are self-determined, 'cause all that we need is enclosed in that seed, our precious memory, and our claim to sovereignty. Let it be our claim to sovereignty as I plant the seed. Hey, yeah, our memory. Put your hands together. I hold, I can feel it. Come on, our sovereignty. Hey, our memory. Hey, I hold our sovereignty. Hey, our memory. I hold our sovereignty. Our memory. I hold our sovereignty. Hey, 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 oh, our sovereignty, our sovereignty, liberación, sovereignty. Thank you for clapping with me. I know that we're not together in a certain way, but vibrationally we are, right? Vibrationally we are. So I know that I've taken a long time. I don't know where I'm at, Caridad. I don't know where I'm at in terms of our time, but I could pause here. We can open it up, and then I have another song that I could share down the line, but I don't want to take up too much space here. So.
Well, we have one open micer, Generalissimo Brian Franco, has one poem. If we want to open up the mic, and then we could maybe finish out with your song if you want to do it that way. I did definitely also, want to have a moment to just join us, Celia, and just talk a little bit. We do have just a little bit of time, but you know what? Let's open up the mic to Generalissimo, and then we'll come back to the featured ladies of this presentation. Let me see. Let's unmute Generalissimo.
How about calling them goddesses?
Aww.
I want one of I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Taina?
Yes.
I want a CD, Taina, or whatever you have, because your music is so uplifting and invigorating, and oh my God. And that guitar playing, everything about tonight, everything about it, everything that I've heard so far is just so exciting. Elizabeth, wow, you're just passionate and wonderful. Let me just
Let me give a little context. Generalissimo Brian Franco is no stranger to our open mics. I've been hosting now the Thursday night online open mic for the Nuyorican Poets Cafe for a year. And Generalissimo is part of our pandemic poet family. Always so impressive between, if it's not your haikus or your poetry about food, that always makes me hungry. Generalissimo. You're a gem. So deliver the goods, Generalissimo. No pressure, right? But you're in some serious company.
Thank you, my unrequited mi amor. So let's go ahead and read a short poem called City Wilderness. I stop walking. I stand on Brick Lane sidewalk and breathe in night air. I lean my head back to explore firmament. Shiny silver clouds billow against a navy sky. A platinum 15/16 moon outshines clouds, slithering amongst them as if it were a snake, slithering through day-old, freshly fallen autumn leaves to rub its belly against moist forest ground. A seagull calls to its mate in echoing, deafening yells. Suddenly, a solid white gull appears, flying fast as a falcon, zigzagging from building top to building top, as if roofs were treetops or cliffs along the shoreline. In that instance, this city becomes the wilderness it once was. Gracias, everyone.
All right, Generalissimo. Thank you so much for contributing your poetry and your word and your message to this wonderful day. Poetry for the planet. I see that there is another interested participant in poetry. I'm not sure that I'm saying her name right. Oh, there, Neha. Neha, would you like to recite? And I know it's a 3-minute poem, but let's try to get it in no longer than 3 minutes. Let's see if we can. Yes, let's hear it from Neha.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this really lovely gathering. And thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing it on Twitter. That's how I learned about it. So this poem I wrote meditating on state of Earth and Earthlings during the pandemic. So it's for this time we are navigating and emerging through. It's called Let Us Waste Not, a call to humanity in the time of COVID-19. A pandemic would be a terrible thing to waste. I wish this passes very, very soon, and may we not forget this for a very, very long time. For now, let us still our minds, deepen our breaths, behold our beloveds, pray our prayers, give our gratitude, be our being. For if the world was ending today, what is it that you and I must do? For while a pandemic is a clock on growth hormones, a near-death experience, our time has always been limited in a timeless universe of stars, at least in this form, in this lifetime. What do the human walls, the othering, the counting heads of people as aliens, the mad quest to dominate the sacred, the nuclear stockpiles, the macho might of all the armies in the world? What does all of this mean in the face of a half-living, half-non-living microorganism who has paused it all? Reminding them, you, we, us, me are all in need of safety, mercy, luck, love, community in this inescapable web of interdependence between humans and nature, nature to which we belong and depend on in equal measure. Someone asked on the gram of Insta, what if we humans are the virus to this earth and Corona is the vaccine? What a terrifying idea. Someone objected on the Book of Faces, we too are of this earth, do not separate us. Nor despite its beauty, rejoice at the bird songs over graves, tears of loss and fear. Someone zoomed a powerful reminder from a graffiti wall in Asia. We cannot return to normal because normal we had was precisely the problem that brought us here. Think about that. Inhale. Someone please light an incense for all of us. Someone please unhide your hidden songs. Someone please not live any more in a way that makes you not fully alive. Someone please bake your glorious fruitcake for your own soul's sake. Rilke said, let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Can we bow in humility to this terror and beauty? Can we reset, re-be, renew? For a pandemic would be a terrible thing to waste. I wish this passes very, very soon. May we not forget for a very, very, very long time. May we heal ourselves, our species, and our Mother Earth. Exhale. Thank you.
Neha, Mizra, that was so beautiful. Thank you for your contribution to our Poetry for the Planet. That was beautiful and amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, so where are you located, Neha, if I may ask? Oh, let me unmute you, and then where are you located?
I'm on the DC Maryland border.
Oh, cool. DC, Maryland representing. Thank you, Neha. Okay. I have one more poet. His name is Poetaku, and he is from Japan. So always fascinating, has blessed our open mic many times. Let's see what Poetaku's bringing to the table.
Thank you so much. Not so have time, so I now let's start it. All right. No, right. Now anyone else can travel that road for you. You must travel it by yourself. It is not far. It is within reach. Perhaps you have been on it since you were born and didn't know. Perhaps it is everywhere on water and land. To yourself, a favor, go home, Mars, and perish with that planet there. A long time ago, you turned a guy into a ball of fire. And now you learn your new home along with the shelter. I won't hand over this planet to unrepentant brutals. Do yourself a favor, go home, my son, perish with the planet there. Time ago, you turned Gaia into a bonfire. Oh no, you ruin your new home. We're so cold. I won't hand over this planet to unrepentant brutals. Do yourself a favor, go Mars, on Paris with planet Earth. Long time ago, you turned a Gaia into a fire.
Poetaku in Japan. Give it up, Poetaku. Beautiful, beautiful. Farewell to tragedy. You will not turn Gaia into a ball of fire. Amazing. I'm telling you, there's so much talent in the world, and I get to witness it every Thursday night at the open mics. So powerful. Follow him, Poetaku. And we're going to hear from Neil, who is he helped produce this event today. So, ladies and gentlemen, Neil.
Hello. Thank you so much. I thought, yeah. This is the first time I'm reading this, but wanted to get in the mix. I was so inspired by everything reading. So this is unfinished. But yeah, I'll just go. This is actually currently in San Francisco. So reading from a park. The world is on pause. I need some gauze for this wound, this open wound that's festering, blistering, a mystery till an epiphany hit me wishing to go home. Home is where the heart is, and my heart isn't here. It's there, where it's fair and bare and they share, and it's not impolite to stare. My soul will be free, not trapped in this cement game show where the people are troubled and muddled, they're disheveled and unsettled. The vibe ain't right. The things are nice, but the people just ain't my vibe. My ride is wide and theirs is small. My plight is light and theirs is tall. I want just what I want and they want it all. I want out of this place. I want to travel where the jungle's emerald green pierces my amygdala and make me have no choice but to look up and around. I want my breath taken and replaced with another batch of fresh air abound. I want to stop and listen and to only hear nature's sounds, those mystery birds and creatures that only in our luckiest days do we get to witness them. And when we do, it's a happy accident they don't give a shit about. I want to use my body as it was meant to be used, walking, talking, exploring, jumping, running, swimming, brimming with happiness and joy from feeling all of it. All of it firsthand with my hands. I can't stand not to feel real things. Through a screen, I want to scream into it, but it won't mean a goddamn thing. So now I count down to exploration of that world to which I know I belong and long and know is no bore. That is it.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you for contributing some poetry, a brand new poem at that, and for everything that you did to make this event today possible. So grateful.
Thank you. You guys are the best. Inspirational beyond all words.
Wonderful. What a blessing. Thank you, Neil. Okay, so we are going to return with our features. We only have 4 minutes, so I would like to invite Taina and Celia back into and let's close this out. Little reflections on what we've. You could take my camera. Oh, okay, the three of us. Okay, cool. Yeah. Anything you'd like to say, Celia? You went first, and you really opened it up. Any reflections on what you heard today?
I think, first of all, that was beautiful. That was beautiful singing. And I think we're all pretty much on that same frequency, right? We, I noticed, have a lot of similar themes, giving thanks to the ancestors and wanting to continue that legacy that we are a part of, and I think that's really important for us to really reclaim that relationship that we have with the land. And I just wanted to give, also, I forgot to preface, so I live in El Paso, and right in the middle of a city, we have a refinery. And it's just part of one of many forms of the environmental racism that we've dealt with here as a community, mostly of brown folks, And also, I wanted to mention the river here, the Rio Grande. It's nothing like any river you would expect. It's, pretty much cemented off because it is the dividing line between the US and Mexico. So you just have this, a bunch of concrete and the tiniest little trickle of water. And it used to be this forest here, beautiful. Nobody would ever even imagine, right? So it's just so weird to me growing up here that, like, we never even questioned this idea of, oh, well, this is not what a river should look like. Why do we have these, we have the smell and we can physically see these huge flames coming out of the refinery, but we're in a position where we just are in survivalist mode, that we don't question a lot of these things,
Yes.
So I just kind of wanted to give a little context about that in that I mentioned in my poem, and just kind of give a little background about how some of the things that we're dealing with here.
Well, I would like to say that, if enough people collectively express outrage and step forward in El Paso, you can reclaim that river. You can reclaim those waters. I have seen it firsthand. The Bronx River. The Bronx is named after that river, and it was completely polluted. And if you look on YouTube for a video called Bronx Indigenous, I've been working with the Bronx River Alliance and the Parks Department with Pepatian organization to claim, clean, and bring back the history, the indigenous history, as well as to clean it and restore it. And it has been working. Beavers are coming back, fish are coming back. It's happening. It's possible, but it really takes collective outrage and resistance. So please, if you're out there, support Celia, even through poetry. You can organize and create the narrative, for us to mobilize. So thank you, Celia, for bringing that awareness, and know that it is possible. Because if it could be done in the Bronx, where the highest asthma rate exists, where nature wants to return, wants to thrive, and there's just no excuse for this industrial age. Even the fact that we're even dependent on gasoline still, oil dependent. It's just when all we have is the source of solar, is just it's systemic genocide and oppression. So Taina, anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I think what Celia said about the numbing, the numbness to what the violence to our earth and to our people that exists around us, the way that it becomes such a fixture in our communities that we can become numb to it. And I think that that's where real harm is, and that's certainly a place we need to focus on. So I live in Albany, New York, which is unceded Mohawk and Haudenosaunee territory, and also one of the important stops on the Underground Railroad, right, where Harriet Tubman came to. So we here in Albany have what we call these bomb trains, these oil trains that come through our community. I think about the ways that you were talking about the oil refineries. For me, looking at those trains as we pass through, it becomes numb. I become numb to it. For me, the pandemic has been about really feeling deeply. And, it's something that I always practice doing. And of course, as an artist, that's part of my work as an artist, is to help myself and others to feel more deeply. But another powerful way that I've been able to break through that, particularly during the pandemic, is by gardening. And I talked a little bit about planting the seed as a metaphor, but for me, it has been a very literal transformation. I've been a part of Soul Fire Farm, which is the food justice organization that I spoke about for many years, and I come from a long line of farmers and abuelas and abuelos that cared for the earth and planted food. But as we know, through colonization and forced migration and slavery, right? We have our land, and our connection to land has been taken from us. So part of the pandemic, because I'm no longer able to tour and have different opportunities like joining you all on a Zoom today, what that allows me to do is have the time to be able to grow my own food again and to connect with the earth, the little bit of earth that I have in my city garden, on my lawn, right? And it's been such a powerful experience to be able to reconnect, because I have done some gardening in the past, but it's been a long time, and to remember how important that is. And it just helps to, to peel back that layer of numbness so that I notice and I pay attention. I really feel deeply. So when I drive past those bomb trains, that I see them for what they are, and I can feel that. And when we can feel, we can act. I have an elder who always says that it's not that grieving that is harmful, or this feeling of despair that's harmful. It's when we're numb, when we're apathetic to
Right.
what's going on. That's where the real harm is. So yeah.
Taina, thank you for that and for helping us feel. And on that note, can you close us out with that song that you were thinking about, please?
Yes, I can. I'll do a shortened version of it because I know we don't have too much time.
Yes. And well, before you do, thank you everyone for joining us today with the New Yorican Poets Cafe to support Uprose, and for the open micers that are here and those that wanted to read. I see you. That makes me so excited. Let's decolonize the soil. Thank you, Elizabeth. Jean-Pierre, thank you so much. And Taina, we leave it to you.
Thank you. And yes, thank you to all of those who shared today, to La Bruja, Caridad, to Celia, to Elizabeth and Uprose, to all of those who shared on the open mic, all of those who came here to be earth-loving people, life-loving people. We give thanks. Yeah. Walking slow across the earth, gazing upon the sun, blistered, sunburned, blessed. This is a quest we must take on for our sacred sites and earth we love. For our children we will not rest. Each step is a silent prayer to end the drilling of the wells. That poison water we so depend, that poison the air we breathe. This walk is our legacy, to bring destruction to an end. And we walk, walking strong, our hearts pounding with the drum. And we run, run with courage, knowing truth is in our bones. And we stand, stand with prayer on the mountain of impossible. And we love, love with hope, peace and healing, healing bridge. One step to help us see, ancestors walk through me. Help us to clarify, to this I give my life. Protect this sacred land, forever I take this stand. Help us to be a light in this fight, this fight. And we walk, walking strong, our hearts pounding with the drum. And we run, run with courage, knowing truth is in our bones. And we stand, stand with prayer on the mountain of impossible. And we love, love with hope, peace and healing, healing. Yeah, yeah. Healing.
Taina, thank you.
Thank you all so much.
I can't even imagine a better way to close out than with that message of love and of healing. We are all connected, and I thank you. It was my pleasure and my honor celebrating with you the most important place, our land, our earth. Celia, gracias. Taina, gracias. New Yorican Poets Cafe. Uprose, thank you.